From the day I invested into my first tech sales course to the moment I landed a job, it took me a total of 4 weeks. Yes, in just 4 short weeks, I was able to break into tech sales, and I'm here to show you how you can do exactly the same. Because after posting about successfully landing a job, I had an influx of people reaching out to me, asking me tons of questions about the job search process. So I figured I'd break it all down in this video to hopefully fast track your chances of landing a job as well. And if you think I'm lying, go ahead and check on LinkedIn. I'll actually leave the link to my LinkedIn profile down in the description below so you can actually connect with me, and you can see the date when I actually posted my certificate of completion from the course and the date I accepted my job offer at my current company. My first and most important piece of advice is to actually fast track your process by investing in a course, a tech bootcamp like CourseCareers. Because I was learning from people who are currently in the industry and who have already gone through the process of looking for jobs, interviewing jobs, negotiating higher salaries, and landing jobs. So I just decided to learn from people who already did it, which is what I actually suggest you do. It doesn't have to be the course that I'm talking about, but find a reputable course that actually has helped people get jobs, and I would just say invest in your education. So as I said, I specifically invested into CourseCareers, and this is exactly how I learned how to do the job in order to get the job. And what I mean by that is, to get your entry-level sales development representative, which is an entry-level tech sales role, you actually have to do what you normally do on the job to actually get the job. So typically in this role, you have to find your ideal client profiles, which in this case would actually be your ideal companies to work with. You also have to find your buyer personas, which in this case would actually be like the HR manager or like the VP of people, roles like that. Then you would have to use multiple ways to contact them, such as cold calling them, emailing them, or messaging them on LinkedIn, which is also considered social selling. And then eventually you have to try to book a meeting with them and just pitch yourself as to why you would be a good employee to work for their company. And these are the same exact steps that you have to do when you're actually in the role of an SDR, except you would be finding different companies to reach out to and pitching your software to them and booking meetings with them so you can eventually sell them your software solution. So not only does CourseCareers go into detail about how exactly to perform the tasks on the job, but my favorite part is that they actually give you access to all the previous graduates who have completed the course and also who have found jobs, which are the biggest connections that you want to make. Because if you are connecting with people who are already in the positions that you're looking to be in, of course they can give you advice, but they can also potentially be a referral for you if their company is actually hiring. And that's the route that I took. I started to connect with all the graduates who had actually gotten jobs and that are currently working in that company. I reached out to them to see if they'd be willing to be a referral, because a referral is more likely to get an interview than just a random person who's applying. Getting access to the graduates within the course actually helps you avoid mistake number 1, which is, please, for the love of God, do not easy apply on LinkedIn. That is the worst way to try to get a job, because the reality is, the easier it is, the more people will do it. People are flooding the easy apply button on LinkedIn, and it's a pure sign of laziness. Most employers will not take that application serious. In fact, I think that's just a way for them to weed out the unserious people. So just save your time, save your energy, and do not easy apply to jobs on LinkedIn. I've literally heard of people applying to like 100 or 200 jobs and not getting interviews. And I know that they've applied through the easy apply button, because there's no way you can strategically apply to different businesses, take the time to customize your resume, customize your cover letter, and not get a reply or interview after 100 applications or 200 applications. That's just unrealistic. You will definitely get interviews if you're doing it the right way. And that's exactly how I only applied to about 20 to 22 companies, and I was able to get multiple interviews and multiple offers within just a few weeks. So if you're trying to break into tech sales within the next 1 to 3 months, you need to follow this next step. And that is to strategically apply to jobs and leverage your network. So when it comes to applying to different companies, you want to first prioritize the companies you want to apply to. So in the course, they recommend creating a list of at least 25 companies that you are seriously interested in. Write 25 of those companies down that truly interest you, that you know that you would actually enjoy working at. Optimize your LinkedIn. You want to make your presence on LinkedIn known. So that's doing the basic things like uploading a good profile image, optimizing your bio. In my case, what actually caught the attention of the company that I work for, because they actually reached out to me on LinkedIn because of the way my LinkedIn was optimized, I had in my bio or my description that I was seeking a sales development representative position. So you can put that in your description and see if it also helps. And I'll probably have to do a whole separate video about LinkedIn optimization because it can go a little bit more in depth, and there's definitely more keywords and stuff that you want to include in your profile and certain tweaks and changes you want to make. But I don't want to go too deep in that right now in this video. If you want me to go deeper into it and make another video, comment down below LinkedIn so I know that you actually want me to. But please do not underestimate the power of LinkedIn. That is where a lot of money is made, not just for businesses, but that's where a lot of people get really good jobs. Apply to the companies that the graduates of CourseCareers or any other course that you're taking, apply to those companies, because then you know that you have a direct in, that somebody can actually put in a good word for you. Because I'll be honest with you guys, that's how I got all my interviews. All my interviews were warm interviews because I reached out to people within the course and I asked them, hey, how has your experience been at this company? I see that they're hiring. I'm really interested in applying. I like what's going on in the company. You got to be interested in people. So show them that you're interested in them. Say, hey, congratulations on getting this job. I see you work for this great company. I see that they're hiring. I would love to apply, but I just wanted to get your experience on the company in general. And then possibly you can lead into now asking them, hey, like, would you be open to being a referral? Because I know that the referral is going to put me at the top of the list, or would you be okay with just putting a good word in for me? Saying that to the people of the companies that you're applying to will more likely than not get you an interview. That's how I got pretty much all my interviews. Don't underestimate LinkedIn, and also look to connect with people who are actually working at the companies that you want to apply for, because you have a warm contact if they have taken the same course that you have, because you have something to connect about. People will get you farther in life than any amount of money or any amount of anything, because as they say, your network is your net worth. And I want to give you guys a bonus tip, because this is something that people are really sleeping on. So after you specifically join CourseCareers, they actually put you in a Discord group with all the different graduates and just all the people in general who are currently taking the course or have taken the course. But here's where people do not take advantage of this. There's actually a chat within the group that is specifically for job opportunities. And I've seen people post about different job opportunities, and a lot of people actually don't even take those into consideration. I know when I saw job opportunities, I would even scroll back and see if there's any more that I missed. I would reach out to the person who posted it and that's how I got a few interviews as well. And also, I've even posted in the group that my company was currently hiring and nobody reached out to me. I literally said, hey guys, my job is hiring. Reach out to me if you're interested in it. And nobody looked at this post and nobody reached out to me. That is literally an opportunity that so many people have missed because they just didn't take the time to either look at it, check the group, or even just reach out. And that is such a warm introduction, because I have direct contact with my manager who does the hiring and the VP of people at my company. Like, I know exactly who to talk to get that person in front of the line for an interview, and nobody reached out to me. So if you do join CourseCareers or any other tech bootcamp, please take advantage of your network. If there's a group that comes with the tech bootcamp, then please utilize the group, because there is so many opportunities that people are skipping over because they simply just don't look. Which is why I'm so passionate about pushing CourseCareers, because tech sales is changing my life. It has changed my life and it's given me a really great opportunity. So if you're interested and you want to learn more, you can check out the link down low in the description box. There's a free introductory tech sales course that CourseCareers has created. You don't have to pay anything. If you don't like it, you don't have to continue with the course. But if you do, you actually do get a coupon using my affiliate link down below. So check it out. You have nothing to lose. So here's the caveat. Everything I've mentioned so far is what will give you the highest chance to actually land an interview. However, you must practice, and practice more if you want to actually exceed at interviews, which will lead into getting job offers. Get a study buddy within the CourseCareers group. They really advocate for this. They really suggest it to people to just buddy up with somebody in the group and see if you can basically start to do cold calls with each other, practice your lines, practice your openers, and just get more comfortable talking to people. Because if you can cold call a hiring manager, they know that you have the potential to actually do the job if you were to get hired, because cold calling and talking to people is a huge part of doing the job. Thankfully, my company does a combination of cold calling people, messaging people on LinkedIn, and cold emailing people. So I like that really good mix. But some companies strictly do cold call. So if you can master the cold call, or if you get good at it, or if you just have the confidence to try it, you're most likely going to get hired. You do not need to be an expert. You just need to have the confidence to actually make calls. So if you can get a study buddy, that would be great. If you can't, then my next best recommendation is to actually just practice saying your lines in the mirror, So what they have in CourseCareers is your top 10 interview questions that you're typically going to get during an interview, and you can literally practice the answers in front of a mirror. They give you a template of different answers, and obviously you don't want to repeat those word for word, but once you start to get into a good rhythm of understanding the basics of what you want to say in reply to that question, then you'll start to get a feel of, what kind of works best for you based on your experience. Honestly, the 10 questions that they put in the course is super, super helpful because they also give you answers. Like I said, it just gives you a good foundation of how to actually answer these questions if you've never had a tech sales interview or a sales development rep interview yet. By practicing in the mirror, you will avoid mistake number 2. You do not want to go into an interview unprepared. Like, it's crazy. That's something you learn in your first job in high school, that you should actually prepare and put an effort to understanding what the company is about and what your role will be. I mean, that's pretty basic, but even at this big age, sometimes you still have to repeat and get people to understand. You literally have to do research on the company. Know what the company is about, know what kind of products they offer, what kind of software they offer, what type of companies that they deal with, who they sell to. Know the basics of the company, and obviously know the role that you're applying for, because that goes without saying, but you should actually know what they expect you to do in that role. If you're actually reading these job descriptions and you're not easy applying, you should know. And it doesn't take long to do this research. It could take 5 to 10 minutes, but you should be prepared during your interview, because that is what is going to give them the confidence to actually move forward in the interview process. And of course, you want to be able to expand on your professional experience. This is why the questions that CourseCareers provides, the 10 interview questions, is really helpful, because one of the main questions that interviewers ask you is, tell me about yourself. And you don't want to just start rambling and tell all different types of random, unrelated things. You actually want to craft an answer that relates to the job and the job experience, based on your own personal experience or your professional experience, even if it's unrelated to sales, or the skills that you had in other jobs can provide value in this sales development or business development role. So you still have to understand how to tailor your answers to actually make sense, even if they're unrelated. And of course, you have to know why you even want to work for the company besides money. Now, I will say that there are some companies that really just want you to focus on making money. There's some companies that are just straight up hey, we want people who want to make money. So I've actually interviewed with companies like that, and I've also interviewed with companies that are more about the money. Besides, they want to hear why you want to work for them besides the money, which is the company I work for now. They didn't want to just hear about money, which I'm glad I didn't really talk about, because that definitely is a huge motivator, but it's not my only motivator. The reason why I actually chose my company is because of the people. I want to work with people that support me, and I want to have good company culture, other things besides money. But don't get me wrong, money is at the top of the list. But here's the thing, even if you aren't able to answer a question exactly to how they expect it or how they want it, don't freak out. It's okay to bomb an interview. You will get more than one interview, most likely, in order to get the job that you want to get. Get more interviews, you'll get better. Even if you bomb the first interview, even if you bomb the second interview, by the third interview, you should really, really have a good grasp on what you are expected to answer and how you are expected to answer it. Which leads me to my last and final biggest mistake, which is people quit way too early. They quit way too early in the job process. They don't give themselves enough chances in order to successfully land a job because they feel like they're not getting enough interviews. And honestly, I am not exempt from that. I started to feel like the first week I got multiple rejections. Mind you, this was only the first week. And I started to feel down. I was like, man, the competition is fierce. There's a lot of people applying for these jobs. I don't know how I'm going to get more interviews. But the second week is when I actually got multiple interviews and eventually got multiple job offers and chose a company. So don't give up too soon. It might take you 1 month. It might take you 3 months. It might take you 6 or even 9 months or maybe even a year plus to get a job. But if you are dedicated, you will get a job. Regardless of the competition, there are still plenty of companies who need good sales reps, good people who can reach out to companies and bring more business in. That will always be a career and a job that is in demand, especially within software sales. Software technology is just getting bigger and bigger, and these companies need you to sell their products and services. So if you're determined, you will get a job. But unfortunately, most people just easy apply to a lot of jobs, or they don't apply to enough jobs with a custom resume or a custom cover letter, and they eventually give up. Do not let your timeline discourage you. Don't compare yourself to other people. Even myself, I will say I got a job pretty quickly, but I would not expect you to have the same results because everybody's timeline is different. Everybody's life is different. You may have more time or less time, whatever the case may be. Just focus on your own journey. And this is another reason why I love CourseCareers, is because the community is really supportive. Once you get in that Discord group, all the other students are really going to support you along your journey, as long as you're reaching out to people, because a lot of people are going through the same things. They're going through the struggles of, potentially not getting interviews or not, getting the opportunities that they want. So sometimes you have to be the one to start that conversation. You have to kind of maybe you have to be the one to post in the Discord chat. But there's people that are there, and the right people will support you along your journey. I found a group of people who was able to support me, and usually the people that support me are the ones who I reach out to that I'm looking to apply to a job in their company. So that's how I've connected with most of the people I know in the group. And it's been really, really beneficial for me, and I think it would be for you. So again, it's all a journey, and it's your individual, unique journey. So just learn, implement, repeat, and you will break into tech sales. And of course, if you're interested in learning more, check out the link down below in the description. There's a free introductory tech sales bootcamp by CourseCareers. You have nothing to lose by trying it out. If you don't like it, you can stop. If you do like it, there is a $50 discount code that you can use when you use my link. So go ahead and check it out, and leave some comments if you have any questions. I will definitely answer them. And if you like this video, then you'll probably like this one here.